Hi crew, a little bit late on the video. I didn't actually think about it until, wow, that oven's hot, until I'd actually got halfway through making it. I started making mead, which if you don't know what that is, it's a fermented beverage, alcoholic beverage. Really tasty. I've only ever had it once before actually. It's quite nice. I'll run through the ingredients of what you need and I'll do a quick mock up here. I've done it. It's ready to go basically. I just need to let it cool, put it in my demijohn, a couple of other little things, and it's ready to go. But to make about 2 litres of mead, you need 2 litres of water, which I measured out with this 1 litre jug. Put it in a stock pot because might as well. You'll need some yeast. I'm using Lalvin 71B 1122 yeast, which I picked up from Make Wine. It was about $1 for 10 packets. The reason it was so cheap was the trader. He had a couple of failed ferments with it. But overall it's a pretty good yeast. I can't remember the ratio of good ferments to bad ferments, but most of them fermented. It was just every other one sort of didn't. So yeah, Make Wine, check them out on Trade Me, some really good cheap stuff. The other thing you're going to need is some nutrient, and I'm using Furmade A, which I picked up from Make Wine as well. This much nutrient, which is 30 grams worth, this will make me 100 litres of wine, and I paid $6 for this. I'll just be using, it says to use a quarter. I don't need to use a quarter because I'm a quarter of a teaspoon per 5 litres. We're doing 2, so you'd probably halve that again. So this is important. Your honey doesn't have enough nutrients in it to ferment away with the yeast on its own, so you need the nutrient. Right, next thing you need is about 1 kilo of honey. It does say to use runny honey, but I took that with a grain of salt, mostly because we had 2 500 gram bottles of clover blend honey from Arataki in the cupboard that we've been given. We're not too fussed on honey on toast or anything like that, so I thought, why waste it? Chuck it in the pot, make some mead, see how it works. If it doesn't work, well, chalk it up to experience, and next time we'll try some runny honey. The other thing is runny honey is a little bit more expensive as well, so you know, on a budget sort of thing. Right, so what you do, heat your water. I'm not going to pull that back on the heat, but here it is. I would show you inside, but I'm scared of tipping it out. But what I'll do is once it's in the demijohn, I'll take a few pictures and we'll go from there. So what you do, you heat your water, right? You don't want to boil your water. That's quite important. You just want it hot enough to dissolve the honey, so lightly simmering sort of thing. And then you put a little bit of honey in at a time. Okay, stir it in. Your honey is going to put off a little bit of scummy type stuff. Just take that off, scoop it off the top. You're going to lose a little bit of liquid, but that doesn't matter. You don't want the scummy rubbish, which I'll need to do again. I thought I'd got all of it, but there's still a little bit left. That's okay, we're not perfect, are we? Right, so once you got your kg of honey dissolved in your hot liquid, take it off the heat, right? Let it cool down before you add your nutrient and your yeast. Obviously scoop all the scum off first and then work out your nutrient and your yeast, how much you need. For those of you who aren't using sachets, which I don't see why you wouldn't be because they're quite cheap, each sachet is 5 grams, just so you can work that out. It doesn't say No, it doesn't say what sort of tablespoon measurement it is, but that's okay, 5 grams anyway. Right, and then, you know, once you've mucked around, well, the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to put the mead into this, and then put the yeast and nutrient in there and let it do its thing, and whack the bung in. Yeah, mostly because that's just the way I'm going to do it. So, just to recap, you need 2 litres of water, kg of honey, some nutrient and some yeast, and that's it. Really, really simple to make. It took me literally about, well, by the time the water was simmering, about 3-4 minutes just to dissolve the honey in there and skim a bit of stuff off the top, which I need to redo because I wasn't being too fussy with it the first time. Please, when you're adding the honey, keep stirring because it does burn quite easy according to the recipe that I read. If you want to check out the recipe, I can put it up, or you can go onto the New Zealand beekeeping website. I can't remember what that is, but if you put in New Zealand beekeeping, it'll come up with the website, first couple of links on Google, and they actually have this recipe on there. This needs to sit for a year before you can drink it, so it's going to be a very, very long wait before the taste test, unfortunately. But homebrewers are a patient bunch, I suppose. Anyway, what I'll be doing next for a video, haven't done it yet, I really should, I've been a bit slack on it, but it doesn't matter too much. I need to bottle my lemon wine and put that away for its last little ferment in the bottles. I'm also going to make, what was it, date wine, and what was the other one I was going to make? Fig wine. I'm just trying to get hold of some figs, which is proving to be quite difficult. If any of you out there have feijoas and you're in Hamilton, let me know. I would love a bag of feijoas. I want to make another batch of feijoa cider up, just so I have something to drink while I'm waiting for my mead. And yeah, happy brewing, guys. Hope you've enjoyed your long weekends, and I hope you've been quite productive. And I'll see you on the next video.